Hey guys, back to do the second video that I was telling you about. In this one I just want to kind of go through it a little bit more detail, and maybe correct anything about the game that I might not have explained a little bit, but also show you guys kind of what a full one would look like, if you were to do this with your class. So, first city, like in the video, Antioch, being owned by Rome. They're known for glass, so I gave them an abundance of glass, because the game, because you guys know the game works on barter system. So if you have a good that you're known for, you're always going to have a full bin, and over, for that. Also, because it's Rome, and Chang'an of Han China at the end, they start with a lot of gold so that they can trade with the middlemen in the game. And then, like I said, you can make as many things as you want for them to trade, for just simulation purposes, or if you wanted to make it a little more competitive and give actual values to each good. Every good that I placed in each city was historically accurate to them having, and was traded along the Silk Road. If you wanted to, in this city only, I put a marketplace. Sorry, with that sign. You could actually change the simulation to where they had to trade goods and then ultimately craft things that were unique to their specific culture. Okay, but that's something that you could add to it. But again, just kind of going through this so that you guys can see what the towns look like. And you've seen Antioch already. You can make it more accurate, less accurate, however you want to do it. Also, I made this linear in terms of how the trade works between the cities. If you want, you can make them go off in certain directions, so the trade's a little bit more complicated, a little more accurate to where the cities are geographically related to each other. Here's the second city I didn't show in the video. This is Merv. Merv, they are part of the Parthian Empire. They're known for rugs, and they're in need of gold. Now, they want gold as well as the next culture because they're the middlemen. They're purely trading for, they want goods, but they have a financial purpose driving their trade. So that's kind of what they're working for. Again, an armory. And then I use sandstone because they use sandstone quite a bit in terms of building objects. And I kind of put everything a little bit in these middlemen areas. Portions of goods that they have from the cities that are close to them. So they have glass and gems because they can trade with Rome. But also they have other things that they're known for, like iron, and then their biggest one, carpets. And they have gold and they have some silk because they probably traded with the next city over. So they have kind of depleted storage areas, but they're supposed to build up throughout the game. Okay, and again, you can make this competitive or not. It's all up to you. Let's go into our third city. The third city is Kashgar. Now, Kashgar was an important city within an empire that was in northern India, the Kushan Empire. They're known for lapis lazuli, and they need gold because they're a middleman along the way. Remember, they can only trade one way, one city over. So they can trade, being middlemen, just like Merv. They can trade with Merv or Chang'an, and where Merv could trade with Kashgar, or they could trade with Antioch. So, and just like you saw in Merv, they have an abundance of goods that are traded across the entirety of it. And I added some extra, just again, that I didn't really explain within the simulation part, but you can add it in. And they want gold. Okay. And they need to fill this area up. Okay, and they have like things like porcelain and knowledge that they get from the Chinese. Okay, and they can translate that. Knowledge just to represent any like inventions, because China had the most in terms of inventions. Also, I wanted to show you this because these two cities, Kashgar and Chang'an, I actually recreated an historical architecture feat of these empires, and this is actually an entrance to a temple within the Kushan Empire that I tried to recreate. that kind of represents their culture. And then let's go to our last city, as we already kind of went over the basic like pit stops of a raider camp in the first video. And here is Chang'an. Okay, now this is I took a lot of time to do this, recreation of the famous entrance in the city of Chang'an of the Han Dynasty, or Xi'an, as it was known later. And this one is actually bigger than all of the others because of the wealth of China. And you go in here, and they have, this is their need. Okay, they need glass. So in terms of just the simplest simulation, they want glass. They have tons of silk. Rome, who's all the way on the other end, wants silk, but has a lot of glass. And the middlemen of Merv and Kashgar want gold, which China, which you guys can see over here, as well as Rome, has plenty of to trade and give goods away. So there's a lot within this game. And then I also added in some things unique to China, such as use diamond to show porcelain, just because they didn't have anything that looked like it. And then China, as I mentioned earlier, has knowledge and a lot of inventions, so I added that to it. So I just kind of wanted to show you guys in this second video what all the places look like. Simulation is very easy. You can make it just as simple as, hey guys, you have this, work together as a class to get as much of the good that you need as possible, but make sure that everybody kind of understands how their needed good gets to them. And then you don't even have to have this competitive edge to it if you don't want, in terms of raiders. It would work really well as an assessment, just to kind of give them an interactive scope of how trade happened at the time, but also kind of understand what types of goods were traded, and kind of how far, and some of the limitations, because they are going to have to work together to get something like silk all the way to the end of the line over in Antioch, and then vice versa. And that's another reason why I set it up this way, because I wanted the classes to work together, but also to show that limitation that kind of hindered people at the time. And that's where, if you add the rating part to it, they come into play, because they're going to build geographic features. And like I said, this is linear. You don't have to make it linear, because Kashgar was north of Merv, and you could develop it where you have almost like a square. You have northern and southern routes and a center route, if you wanted to make more groups in the simulation. So there's a lot of flexibility to this simulation, to how you put it. But I designed it and just kind of showed it in its simplest form here, in terms of what you would do. And the biggest flexibility to it is how you would want to set up what goods were traded and their value. If you wanted to put a value system to kind of, you get points for how many blocks, so many blocks that you have of a good that you're known for versus what you need, or what have you. You can even make it to where they have more. Or you can set up crafting tables and objectives to where the cultures would have to set up or trade for goods that would allow them to craft something that would be significant to their culture. Okay, or like show the characteristics of their culture, and go from there. So that's the simulation. I just wanted to give you guys this second video to kind of go in more detail, kind of show you what I did, because I put a lot of work into this, but also just kind of explain anything that I might not have been able to in the 5 minutes, 5-minute video that was required for the assignment in this course. So thank you guys for listening. I hope you really enjoyed this. If you have any questions about anything on how to run something like this, let me know, because you can do this if you're a world history teacher. You're not just limited to Silk Road using the same type of simulation. You could use the Indian Ocean trade, Trans-Saharan, all types of things. But the basic idea would remain the same. You just change cities and change some goods. So thank you, and have a great day.